Welcome to the AHGL StarCraft 2 B-League action this fine Sunday morning. We have today Palantir versus IBM in the Consolation Playoffs Best of 5 series. We're playing Game 2 first, so we have our competitors meet up a little bit earlier than our usual scheduled time, but I think it should be okay. Here in the lower left we have as the blue Zerg from Team IBM, Argentower. And here in the upper right hand corner we have the red Terran from Team Palantir, Urgency. So currently we are playing, as I mentioned before, in the playoffs, or I should say the consolation playoffs, because neither of our teams made it to the regular playoffs. We got eliminated during the preliminary division round. But it should be a fun game. Forgot to check the rankings of these two players, but Argentower, the Blue Zerg, is currently in the Platinum League. His record in the AHGL is 1-4, and he's 0-1 versus Terran. On the red Terran from Team Palantir Urgency, he is 2-0 actually. He has a perfect record, but he hasn't played any games against any Zerg yet. But I suspect that he's probably Platinum or Diamond, so, and given his record, he should be fine. So this should be a nice, fun match, close match. So we have this drone right here scouting up here in this path right here. Looks like he's making sure that there's no proxy racks, but as soon as he gets to the front of his base, you should see that this wall up right here including this barracks right here, should indicate that he's not doing any kind of 11-11 double racks pressure. But just in case, it doesn't really hurt to send your drone this direction. In the meantime, it doesn't look like Urgency has any SCVs out in the map to scout. Argentower now sees there's 2 racks building with no attachments. It shouldn't be too. It's not that early that we shouldn't give any alarms. So it looks like he's happy to bring his drone home. In the meantime, it looks like he's Urgency. Since we have God view and God. We can see that he took a gas, so he's not going to do any kind of 2 racks kind of business. But it looks like he's taking his second extractor here. So, and this Overlord's going to scout 1 extractor, so he's going to know that it's going to be some kind of maybe factory play. So we should see either a attachment on this barracks going down soon, or a factory going up. In the meantime, Argentower only has to make a couple lings. It looks like he's throwing down a spine crawler just in case anything happens. So both in his in main and his natural. Meanwhile, this Overlord is poking over here. It's probably going to swing around the side and see if there's anything in the backside of the map. See, there's a. It's probably getting. Yep, he's going for a stim pack. Looks like. And he's not building any more buildings, so but I still suspect that he's going to build at least 1 more production building for Terran. There it is, a factory. So right now he's going to be able to make Hellions or tanks. Looks like everybody over here is. Looks like the Argentower is just happily groaning away with whatever larva he has stored up. So he has a couple now, so he probably wants to spend that right now. Unless he's supply blocked, but he's not. It looks like he's responsibly building an Overlord. And meanwhile, the factory is still building over here, but it's going to be finishing up soon. And then Scouting Link runs up the ramp just to get killed, but he sees that this attachment to this barracks. Meanwhile, not much going on here. Have an Overlord hanging in the back. But, that's about it. I mean, this Overlord right here to check to see how when urgency plans to put down an expansion. It looks like this lane right here is going to take the second Zelnaga tower, so that he knows when exactly urgency is going to move out. So it's really interesting play. It's really interesting to see Terran stay on a single base. Like on ladder when I play, Terran tends to like to favor fast expansion. Try to catch up with, try to match the number of bases Zerg has, so that Zerg doesn't have that big of an advantage for almost always, like 99% of the time nowadays to take this early expansion. So looks like he's going to push out with 1 or 2 tanks, and well, no, he's not going to push out with the tank. He's going to just go defend this ramp, and he's going to move out small contingency, this gaggle of Marines, but it should be okay. Okay, looks like he's not quite moving out yet. Meanwhile, let's look at Argentower. Argentower view. He sees the tank. He's building a couple of precautionary banelings. This overlord's going to be taken out by these Marines, but Argentower has already gotten enough information that he needs. He sees the factory with the tech lab attachment. I wonder if urgency knows that he doesn't need a tech lab anymore to build tanks in Heart of the Swarm. But more importantly, he sees this gaggle of Marines. That's a fun word to say, gaggle. But anyways, this gaggle of Marines that just took out his overlord, so he knows that at least for now, there's no expansion. But he's not going to be able to see this expansion quite go down. He's going to block his own expansion. But he's going to have to order this SCV to build that command center. I wonder when he's going to realize that. He's going to realize that, I guess, soon enough. He's going to look over here. Oh my god. Oh, he doesn't notice it. Well, he'll notice it eventually. Anyways, with this scan, he sees there's at least a couple of banelings, 1 or 2 banelings.
Research complete.
But he doesn't know if Argentower has taken a 3rd yet, or he's just going to go for a 2-base timing. Meanwhile, Argentower has already upgraded to Lair, so he's going to go ahead and go with Spire. So old school Wings of Liberty composition style. Oh, finally, urgency realizes that he did not put down his command center yet, so he's significantly behind. At least his expansion is a lot more delayed than he would like to. But anyways, what I was about to say is Argentower is going to probably go with Meter Bling Bling as his unit composition with, looks like Overlord speed. But meanwhile, urgency is just going to go with a bunch of lanes. Looks like he's
coming through.
Yep, Overlord speed. Yep. Yeah, and then meanwhile, urgency is going to stick around and stay in his base, which is fine right now because Argentower didn't take a 3rd base. So as soon as this base is up and running, he's not going to get that far, is he? Oh, Marine gets all the way across. Don't lose a baneling. But anyways, yeah, urgency. He actually didn't scout this way, so he doesn't know that there's no 3rd base, at least not as of yet. But as soon as urgency gets his base up and running, he's going to be equal basis with the Zerg player, so he'll actually be ahead. Interesting placement of these tanks. They're nice and spread out, but there's no buildings right here to prevent any kind of. And of course, right now he doesn't have any map vision. Tanks do really well against banelings. In fact, that's the only real defense Terran has against banelings, except Widow Mines now in Heart of the Swarm, so I take that back. But but he doesn't have any Widow Mines either. So, and when banelings come marching up here, a couple of tank blasts is going to take out maybe the first few Zergling banelings, and then the rest of the banelings and Zerglings are going to be able to wipe out all these clumped up Marines. So he has to be very, very careful. So usually, what he might want to do is put up, a couple more buildings up here to choke. Especially now, I mean, maybe put a couple more supply depots, even though he doesn't need it. Now we're going to expansion. But yeah, I was about to say, even though he doesn't need the supply depots, he's going to eventually need them later. But it's good to have some production buildings, especially now that he put all his production buildings up here. I see.
SCV ready.
That's interesting, isn't it? He's going for a mix between bio and mech because he's got 2 factories, 4 barracks. He's got the buildings to upgrade the attack for the bio. He's also getting the armor. But he's choosing to stay here. No scan, no scouting. It's a little bit dangerous. Argentower has since then expanded, so zerg is going to be ahead very, very soon. As soon as Argentower or the zerg play will be here, excuse me, saturates this base. Meanwhile, there's a couple of lanes running back and forth, checking the third, see when the third expansion is going to go up. Meanwhile, the work count, to check that, is actually in favor of zerg. And then everybody's responsibly spending their money relatively well. Right now, the red Terran play a little bit better than the other one. The scan goes down, sees the same number of, same group of banelings and zerglings over here, so should figure out that. I've been missing the action. So the mutas go into, finally the Spire have finished a while ago. We have 10 mutas attacking the line, and right now he has already lost 14 workers. That's a lot of workers killed. So econ damage has already been done. So Terran at this point is going to decide, should I move out or should I continue to be boxed into my own base? So he forgot to put his SCVs back into the gas. Yeah, mutas are worse. I mean, they're very good in Heart of the Swarm in all 3 matchups now. Before, a lot of people, they really like using them against Terran for sure. Not so much against Protoss, and then even more rare against Zerg. Actually, it fell out of favor in the metagame in ZVZ. But with the new upgrades or new buffs that they added to the game, Heart of the Swarm expansion, with the movement speed of the muta, with the fungal growth nerf off of the Investor, and also the regen, the really quick regen of the Mutalists. They are a very, very good unit in ZVZ. It looks like a Red Terran has opted to move his SCVs into this base, at least for now, until he gets some turrets up over here. Meanwhile, mutas are just flying around, scouting, checking the map. He knows for sure that Terran's only on 2 bases because he has all of these resource nodes. These expansion slots are here, scouted with the Burrow to Baneling. But with this expansion up, with Zerg having an expansion up, I mean, Zerg really doesn't have to do anything. He can just build. I mean, sorry, he can just tech up, waiting for this Terran army to move out, which it looks like he's gonna do now because he's unsieging all of his tanks. And only now does Zerg need to build any sort of army at all. So it looks like already Argentower is teched up to Ultralists. So he's even getting the chitinous plating for additional armor on the Mutalists. Sorry, Ultralists. He's already getting +2 armor, +2 melee, and he's building a lot of Banelings. So he's just waiting for this. He's just waiting for this army to be pushing over here. So Terran should be sieging up the tanks really soon because he's already like halfway across this creep spreader here. And he's doing a good job clearing out the creep tumor. So this creep, he gets fungal, and there's no medevac to heal this. So this is already very bad. All Zerg has to do right now is walk in with all of his lings and just totally massacre. He only has about, what is that, 16 Marines left? Oh, there's a medevac. Oh, guys, you guys are too late to the battle. Where the hell were you guys? Come on! Well, Mulas try to swing back and try to pick up some tanks. These 16 Marines are going to push them away. Another scan. You can actually see the Ultralist now. Oh, look, he's going to slow tank push. The Mulas can pick this off. There they are. And the Marines are way out here, so they're not going to be able to really defend these tanks. Oh, poor girl's being transferred to the 4th. They got picked off. That's okay. Ah, some fungal growth should... Oh, whiff on the fungal growth, but it doesn't matter because here comes the army. Supplies going to plummet. Ultralisk is going to tear through this army, and there's the GG. So, IBM takes game number 2 and currently leads 1-0. So, hopefully you guys are able to tune back. Come back and tune in at 1 o'clock when we play the other matches. Hope you see you then.